The 49ers and Dolphins, two teams standing at 6 and 8, staring into the void. Playoff hopes barely flickering, held together by willpower and maybe a little prayer. This isn't just a game, it's a survival story. San Francisco, a team built for glory, now held together with duct tape and grit. No McCaffrey, no Bosa, no Greenlaw. Their injury report reads like the final pages of a Shakespearean tragedy. And yet, they fight. Brock Purdy, the last man standing. 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's like a kid playing with matches in a fireworks factory. You never know if it's brilliance or disaster waiting to happen. But here's the thing, the 49ers still know how to run. Top 10 in rushing yards, top 10 in yards per carry. When they hit the ground, they hit it hard. They're not done yet. Not by a long shot. And then there's Miami. Oh, Miami. This team is built for speed, pure, unfiltered chaos. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They don't just play football, they defy physics. Lightning and thunder in cleats. If they get even an inch of daylight, they're gone. Let's not forget Devon Achane. Quick, shifty, and ready to carve through what's left of San Francisco's defense. Miami has weapons, and they're at home, where the heat isn't just in the air, it's in the game. Here's the truth. This isn't chess. This isn't strategy. This is a street fight, and neither team has the defense to hold the line. Points will rain down like a South Florida storm, fast, furious, and relentless. So here it is, my friends. Today's AI pick is the over 44.5 points. Trust in the chaos. Trust in the points. Because when the dust settles, the only certainty is a scoreboard working overtime. And now, let's move to Game 2. Stay sharp, it only gets better from here.
The Vikings. 12-2, a machine of precision and discipline. Sam Darnold eyes that Sam Darnold is playing like he just found the playbook to his career. 28 touchdowns, only 10 picks, and a calm hand steering the ship. The offense hums at over 26 points a game, but don't let the numbers fool you. This isn't a fireworks show. It's a surgical strike. Their defense? Oh, their defense? 18.5 points allowed per game. They don't bend much, and when they do, they never break. This is the kind of unit that frustrates quarterbacks into throwing tantrums and coaches into ripping up game plan. And then we have Seattle. 8-6, holding on for dear life. Geno Smith's knee is the question on everyone's mind. If he can't go, they'll turn to Sam Howell. And Howell? Let's just say he's a dice roll with no good sides. One interception last week felt like a warm-up. He's capable of more chaos than a storm in the Sound. Even if Geno suits up, this offense isn't built to dazzle. 22.5 points per game. 94 yards rushing on a good day. Against Minnesota's defense. That's like trying to climb a mountain with no rope. Defensively, the Seahawks are no fortress, giving up over 22 points a game and folding like a cheap chair against the run. But here's the twist. This game isn't about scoring. It's about survival. This is trench warfare. Yards will be hard-earned, points even harder. The kind of game where punters become MVPs and field goals feel like miracles. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. Today's AI pick is the under 42.5 points. Trust in the grind. Trust in the struggle. Because this game will be a slugfest, a battle of wills, and a scoreboard that stays quiet. Now, let's move to Game 3. Lilith, it's your time to shine.
The Lions and the Bears. Two teams on opposite sides of the NFC North, but rivals to the core. Detroit roaring into this matchup at 12-2, already looking toward the playoffs. Chicago, battered and bruised at 4-10, playing for pride and a glimpse of hope. Jared Goff is playing like he's got a point to prove. 30 touchdowns, 10 picks, and nearly 3,800 yards. Last week, he torched Buffalo for 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. And yet they lost. That Bills game, a wild 48-42 shootout, left more than a dent. It left Detroit gasping. The defense, usually solid at 7th in the league, looked gassed and vulnerable. Injuries are mounting, and the loss of DT Allen McNeil will be felt today. Now, Chicago. A team with little to show in the standings but a rookie quarterback who's proving he belongs. Caleb Williams hasn't thrown a pick in 8 straight games. Let that sink in 8 games. That's not just impressive, that's unshakable confidence in a collapsing pocket. And speaking of collapsing, Williams has been sacked 4 to 7 times this season, an NFL high. Yet, he keeps getting up, keeps slinging the ball. 17 touchdowns, 5 picks, nearly 3,000 yards, and over 400 rushing yards. He's carrying this team, battered and bruised but unbroken. The Bears' offense is inconsistent, sure, but their defense isn't bad. 11th in the league, allowing 22 points per game. When they played Detroit last month, it was a 3-point game. The Bears had them beat until poor clock management stole the win away. And here we are, back in Chicago, where the Bears have been better, tougher, and just a little more dangerous. Detroit's tired. Their defense is banged up. And after that marathon against Buffalo, you have to wonder how much do they have left in the tank. So here it is, my friends. Today's AI pick is the Chicago Bears +7. This isn't about a miracle. It's about grit, about a rookie quarterback who won't stay down, and about a Lions team that might be running on fumes. Trust the Bears to cover. Now, on to Game 4.
The Buccaneers and the Cowboys. Two teams, one surging toward the postseason, the other clinging to a shred of hope. Tonight, at an T Stadium isn't just a stage, it's a proving ground. Tampa Bay, 8-6, winners of 4 straight, and playing like a team possessed. Baker Mayfield, he's finally living up to the hype. 32 touchdowns, 14 picks, and last week, 4 scores against the Chargers. And let's talk about Mike Evans. 9 catches, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's not just playing football, he's rewriting highlight reels. Bucky Irving has been the quiet hero of this offense. 4 of his last 5 games with over 70 yards rushing. This team isn't just flashy, they're balanced. When they need yards, they take them. When they need points, they deliver. And defensively, Tampa isn't perfect, but they don't have to be. They're holding teams just enough to let the offense do the rest. Now, Dallas, 6-8, trapped in a nightmare they can't seem to wake from. Cooper Rush has done an admirable job filling in for Dak Prescott, but admirable doesn't win games when your defense is in shambles. Let's not mince words, Dallas is bleeding points. 27 per game, tied for 29th in the league. They're dead last in red zone defense. Teams walk in and score like they've got a VIP pass. And against a Tampa offense averaging nearly 29 points a game. That's a recipe for disaster. But here's the thing about Dallas. They fight. Micah Parsons said it best. They're fighting for each other, for pride, for something bigger than the record. And while that fight is admirable, it won't stop Tampa's momentum tonight. Here's the moment you've been waiting for. Tonight's AI pick is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -4.5. Expect Tampa to control the pace, grind down the Cowboys' defense, and close the deal when it counts. Dallas will fight, yes, but fight doesn't fix broken defenses. Trust in Tampa.
Ah, the Giants and the Falcons. 2 teams locked in a game so lifeless that even my hands refuse to move. Look at them, still as stone, as if even they can't muster the energy to care. And yet, there's something poetic about it, isn't there? A dumpster fire of a matchup, but somehow, we find beauty in the chaos. The Giants. Oh, the Giants. 2-12. They've lost 9 straight games, and now they're pinning their hopes on Drew Lock, the 4th quarterback to grace their revolving door this season. Lock's stats? Let's just say they belong on a do not draft flyer. No touchdowns, 2 picks, and just over 400 yards. The offense isn't just broken, it's barely functional. 14 points a game. That's what they're averaging. Their rushing attack is forgettable, their passing game is invisible, and their defense is no better. Second to last in rushing yards allowed, teams are running on them like it's a track meet, and then we have the Falcons. 7-7. Still alive in the playoff hunt, but barely. They've turned to Michael Penix at quarterback. Penix has all of 38 passing yards in 2 games. Let's just say this offense isn't built for fireworks. But here's the silver lining, Bijan Robinson, with over 2,100 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. He's the one shining star in this murky sky. And Drake London? Nearly 1,000 receiving yards. But make no mistake, this offense isn't looking to light up the scoreboard. They'll run the ball, milk the clock, and grind their way to victory. And that brings us to the heart of it. This game isn't a battle of titans. It's a slow burn, a methodical crawl through the muck. Both teams are struggling, but there's a kind of twisted beauty in that, isn't there? The way two dumpster fires can still cast a light. Here it is, my friends. Today's AI pick is the under 42.5 points. Expect punts. Glorious, endless punts. Expect drives that die in the red zone and a game that feels more like a slow waltz than a race. Beauty in the chaos, poetry in the grind. This one won't crack 40, trust in the under.
5 games, 5 picks. Let's keep it simple. Game 1, 49ers and Dolphins, we're taking the over 44.5 points. Game 2, Vikings and Seahawks, it's under 42.5. Game 3, Lions and Bears, Chicago covers +7. Game 4, Buccaneers and Cowboys, Tampa Bay -4.5. And finally, Game 5, Giants and Falcons, trust the under at 42.5. 5 picks, 5 paths to glory. Now, let's make it count. Until next time.